Hey guys, and welcome to What's New Wednesday, where I am going to be talking about some products that are either new to me or new on the market. And today I'm going to be doing a little mini Ulta haul with stuff that's all new to me and relatively new in the makeup scene. So the first thing that I picked up today is just new to me. It is the Real Techniques Finish Miracle Finish Sponge. Now this says that it is specifically for using with blush, but I was comparing the different blending sponges that they had, and I already have the Real Techniques regular blending sponge, and I do not have a beauty blender. And I was looking at the beauty blenders and comparing it to the different Real Techniques sponges, and the texture on the beauty blender was most similar to this blender right here. So I'm actually gonna try to use this blender on my entire face, not just for my blush, just because the texture of it is so similar to that of the original beauty blender. So this feels pretty stiff compared to the regular blending sponge, but I'm gonna get it damp and see if it doesn't get a little bit softer. So yes, now that I've gotten this blender dampened, it is definitely softer, it's squishy. I feel like this is gonna be actually perfect to apply all of my foundation, and I'm just gonna try it. I know it says it's for blush, but I really like the texture of this sponge, so that's what I'm gonna use for my foundation today. So the next thing that I got from Ulta this morning is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Melt Proof Brow Kit. They have several different versions of these kits available now, and this one that I got comes with the Dip Brow Pomade. It comes with the number 12 brow brush that comes with an angled brush and a spoolie, and then it also comes with their brow gel, the Dip Brow Gel. Now, I do already have the Dip Brow Pomade, but mine is getting kind of dry. It's a little bit older, so I needed a new one anyway. And I have never tried their brow gel, so I'm excited about trying that today as well.
That I picked up is the Bear With Me Multitasking Spray by NYX. This is a multitasking spray that you can use to prime, refresh, or set your makeup. It is sensitive skin friendly, which is great because I have sensitive skin. It has aloe and cucumber extract, and it says it gives you a dewy burst of hydration. I've never used a setting spray before, and I've been really interested to try a setting spray, so I'm gonna be trying this one out today. I'm really excited about it. I did a little spritz on some foundation on my hand in the store, and it felt really, really nice, so I'm excited to try this. And the last thing that I picked up today, which I am most excited about, is the new NYX Born to Glow foundation. So this foundation says that it is buildable medium coverage that has a naturally radiant finish, and this comes in 45 shades. The shade range is huge, it is diverse. I love the shades. Hopefully I picked a good one for my skin. I tried some testers in Ulta and got the closest match that I could, so I'm crossing my fingers. I want to say that my favorite NYX foundation was the HD Photogenic Studio Photogenic Foundation, and I am really hoping that this is kind of a replacement for this one. I really liked this, and this seems very similar, so I'm also going to be testing this today, and I'm going to put it on and tell you how I feel about it, and then we're going to see how this wears throughout the day as well. So before I put my foundation on, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the Born to Glow foundation. I picked this up in the color Warm Vanilla. Okay, so I have let this foundation sit on my skin for just a minute to give it a chance to kind of oxidize, because I know you noticed when I put it on my face that it was really looking pretty light. Now, I did choose a little bit of a lighter shade than I normally would, just because winter is coming up and my tan is going to completely fade, and this really is my natural color. You can see compared to my neck, this is pretty much the same color, and also a lot of times my foundation will oxidize and then my face ends up a different color than my neck. I don't like that. So that is why I purposely chose just a little bit of a lighter shade. I think this is a really good match for me. Now, as far as the finish and the texture, it is a beautiful texture. It is like it's like a skin texture. It is a true medium coverage. This reminds me a lot of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. The finish is very similar and the coverage is very similar. This also says that it's buildable like the Born This Way foundation. So I think we may have a dupe here, guys. This is really, really similar and I really, really like it. And it's like, this was $10. I'm pretty happy right now with the way this applied. It's not creasing under my eyes at all. It's not creasing. I haven't set it yet, so that's great. I mean, really, really reminds me of the Born This Way foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to finish applying my concealer and setting powder, and then I'll be right back to talk about the other products that I got. All right, guys, I went ahead and applied my concealer, my setting powder, my contour and highlight, and I want to say before I move on that this foundation, the finish is absolutely beautiful. It is just glowing right through the powder, the setting powder that I put on top of it. It is just glowing right through there. The texture is still beautiful, and like I said, it is a true medium coverage foundation. It is not a full coverage foundation, which is fine for me when I don't have like really bad hyperpigmentation. So I have some up here, some here, and some on this side. So you can see that through this foundation, but I personally don't really mind. I'm not really bothered by that. I do like a good medium coverage foundation when that stuff is all healed. So now I'm going to go ahead and get into the Melt Proof Brow Kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I am going to use all the products in here today, and I also believe that there are some instructions in here, so I'm also going to follow those instructions rather than doing my own thing, just to see how that turns out. Okay, so yes, in this little eyebrow guide, it says to use the brow gel first, from the arch to the end, and then towards the front. I'm gonna let that sit for 20 seconds, and then I'm gonna go back in with the Dip Brow Pomade, and I'm gonna fill and define. So first I'm gonna use the brow gel. Ooh, I really, really like this. It really did a good job actually of filling my brow. You can tell the difference from this side to this side. I would use this on its own without the Dip Brow Pomade because I really like the way that looks. It's a very natural look, and I love the texture of this formula. It is not like runny or wet feeling on your face. It's just very smooth. I love this. So since I feel like I really don't need much more on my eyebrows today, I am just gonna stick with using the brow gel. Normally I do use the Dip Brow Pomade, and just know that these little kits come with everything that you need. And I think this was, yes, this was $30 and you get all of these products. So you get the brow gel, the Dip Brow Pomade, and the spoolie with the angled brush. I think that's a really great value. And I needed the Dip Brow Pomade anyway, and I'm really happy with the brow gel. It just looks amazing. It felt amazing. Like I said, it doesn't feel wet or runny. It feels great. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish the rest of my eye makeup before I use this setting spray. All right, I've gone ahead and finished applying the rest of my makeup. I just did a soft romantic eye using the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then I am also wearing the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in the color Stay Exceptional. I love those Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayons. I've been using them non-stop lately. So now that my lashes are all dry, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use the NYX Bear With Me setting spray. I'm a little nervous because I have never used a setting spray before, but it says 8 hours of hydration. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set my makeup. Ooh, you know what? First of all, This comes out in a super fine mist. I was nervous. I was like scared that it was gonna like squirt me, but this just came out in a super fine mist that kind of falls down on your face. That's really nice. It feels really nice and hydrating. It's supposed to give you a dewy finish, which I see. I'm very dewy right now. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but very dewy, very hydrated. I like that a lot. Let's see if it makes my makeup last all day. And yeah, right now, this foundation is just really, really beautiful. I really am liking this foundation so far. Like I said, it reminds me of the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I'm crossing my fingers that it's a dupe because for 10 bucks, that is a great deal. And I'll let you guys know how it's going in a few hours. So it's been a full 4 hours now since I put on the Born to Glow foundation with the Bear With Me setting spray. And I wanted to show you guys how this is wearing so far. And I have nothing negative to say, guys. This foundation is wearing beautifully. It is not settling into any of my fine lines. You can see my fine lines because they're real. I mean, for real, they're there and they're visible, but it's not settling into them and accentuating them. I don't have any creasing around my eyes or under my eyes. It's not settling into these lines here. Like, you can barely see those lines. I do have fine lines around my mouth, and it is not settling into those lines. I don't have anything negative to say. Everything is positive. This foundation is glowing. It is just glowing. And also, one thing I wanted to mention is that I have this spot on my nose that is literally like an oil slick. I know I've heard other girls have this issue too, and nothing will stick to it. Tarte Shape Tape Concealer won't stick to it. Amazonian Clay foundation won't stick to it. Born This Way foundation won't stick to it. The Ultra HD foundation won't stick to it. They all literally just slide right off my nose. This foundation is still on my nose. It is going strong. It's not sliding off. It has a very natural finish. It's dewy, but it also has a nice texture to it. It looks like natural skin. Yeah, so far this is looking just really beautiful, guys, and I'll check back in just a few more hours to let you know if anything changes. But I don't think it will. I think this foundation is just phenomenal. Okay, guys, I've officially been wearing the Born to Glow foundation by NYX for 6 hours now, and I have some final thoughts on this foundation. All of them are positive. I'm really glad that I picked a lighter shade than I thought I needed, because I have had NYX foundations oxidize on me in the past, and that ended up actually being bad for me. But in this case, when it oxidized, it was a good thing because now it matches the rest of my skin. So I'm really happy that I went with a little bit of a lighter shade. Now, the finish is still beautiful after 6 hours. The finish is really glowy. It looks like natural skin. It's not sliding off. It's not caking up. It never settled into my fine lines. Of course, you can see my fine lines, but it never settled into the creases and created lines of foundation into the creases. So I'm really happy about that. I have nothing but positive things to say about this foundation. This is definitely going to be my new favorite go-to everyday foundation, period. I just am totally in love with this foundation. They really just hit it out of the park with this one. So I see you, NYX, and I'm glad that I had such a positive experience. Try it yourself. I think you're gonna love it, especially if you do like the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. This is very similar to that, but better. So until next time, guys, bye.